Hello, my name is Ajay Raghuvarya. I am the founder of Firespeech. Firespeech is a community driven platform that empowers individuals to have open ended discussions on important topics. Today's discussion is about the meaning of life. To be more accurate, what is your meaning of life? Now, the goal of such discussions is not to find one absolute truth. It is to understand that we all have our own ways of looking at life. And from these discussions, we can fine tune our own ideas and also learn from others. And this way, we can make our ideas even stronger. And this will help us lead a better life because we all need some level of axioms upon which we can construct our lives. So, without further ado, I will start this discussion by talking about my meaning of life. If you want to be part of such discussions, feel free to join our Discord server. The link is in the description. So, what is my meaning of life? Religion, science, determinism, free will, good, evil, justice, crime, truth, lies, everything is a paradox. Too much of one of these things, we lose as human beings. If I were to create a game that's fun to play, I would create a game where anything is possible. At the same time, there are some rules to the game because you cannot create something without having some rules or axioms. This world is not a perfect balance between determinism and free will. It's not the yin or the yang or the dots in the middle. It's the coin. It's the perfect game theory solution. Why are games like Grand Theft Auto fun to play? It's because you can be anything and anyone in that game. At the same time, there are certain rules like a life bar, a currency system, so that there is some level of challenge to the game. And that's a good thing because otherwise you wouldn't play the game. Why do you think there is no good Superman game yet? It's because it's extremely difficult to make a fun Superman game. Now, there are some rewards to this game, like dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline. These three are limited and they have a cooldown timer. Because if you have any of these in excess, then there is no fun to the game. There are also more long lasting rewards like health and money, out of which health is limited. Because if you won't die, then you won't take the game seriously. Money, on the other hand, is unlimited. You can make as much as you want. With money, you can recharge your dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline boost meters. But there is a limit to the amount of these boosts you can buy, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because if you can buy unlimited of these boosts, then you will be overpowered. And no one will play the game long term because it's boring. You can use money to fill your boost meters as soon as they start going down. That is not a bad way to live. This is only one of the ways to live. There is no right or wrong. You get to choose which game you want to play. Now, the most important thing to remember is that even if you are the best player in the game or the worst, the life bar is constantly going down. It can go down from 100 to 0 in a second or slowly over the course of years. Now, whether we respawn after this or not is hidden from us. Why? Otherwise, we won't take the game seriously. It doesn't matter, and it does matter, that the endpoint is 0. Now, given all of this, we can conclude that we are living in a simulation, or it's our species becoming self conscious of the rules of nature. What's the answer? There is no answer. And that's a good thing. It's not a bug, it's a feature. Now we'll move on to the community members.
This is a question that man has asked of itself since we've been able to think. I suppose I don't know if there are any other animals that ponder their existence. Maybe to some extent, the ones that notice themselves in mirrors. What is that other thing? What is that being doing there? We obviously go much deeper than that. Which part of it is it of us that asks that question? There's the very conscious part of us that may not think of it at all. We meet many people who don't even bother to ask. Many of us may not have even thought of that is a question until we took a philosophy course, and that's perfectly fine to go through life without questioning too much. But for those of us that aren't satisfied with just a cursory experience, we definitely do want to know more. For me, it is trying. I love to make people laugh. When I'm able to do that, I feel that is the best experience that I've ever known. Or it's up there. To be a clown, I guess. That's the meaning of life for me.
The meaning of life is just to find fulfillment for yourself and where possible, to help others find fulfillment. But like I think both of you said, what that means specifically depends on the person. But for most of us, I think that means having meaningful relationships with other people and doing work that we enjoy and that has a positive impact on the world and pursuing hobbies and that sort of thing. And in general, I think fulfillment requires having your basic needs met, like food and shelter. Although I think that people often overestimate how much material wealth they need to find fulfillment. But I think people often pursue wealth because of the social status that it brings rather than because of an innate desire for material goods. And this social status, I think, really can bring about fulfillment. So it's not necessarily illogical to pursue wealth for that reason. It's just that wealth isn't the end in and of itself. And in general, I consider myself to be a utilitarian, which I interpret to mean that whatever leads to fulfillment for you and others is the right thing to do. So, for example, I would reject the idea that achieving glory gives life meaning, except to the extent that achieving glory makes a person happy. And I would also reject the idea that being remembered after you die is a sign of having led a meaningful life, except to the extent that you're remembered for bringing fulfillment to others or being fulfilled yourself. And I guess the last thing is that the word fulfilled could probably have been replaced with other words. Hopefully, it's clear from context what I meant by that. But the word fulfillment in itself isn't really key to what I was trying to say.